Hi everyone, it's Jill Foster here for Penny Black, and I am really excited to be joining you today to share all of Penny Black's newest collection called Scent of Spring. So let's jump right in, and the first thing I'm going to share with you is a new product line from Penny Black, which are layering stencils. And I am so excited about these stencils because they make the most beautiful butterflies. So just to give you a look here at how these work, see them in action, you can see that the stencil comes with multiple parts of the butterfly and they are all marked very clearly so you can easily layer them up so it's not too complicated. And I made all of my butterflies using an ink blending tool and a foam pad and just applying that ink through the stencil. Once you have one layer down, then you can just pick up your stencil and move and add the next layer on top. Excuse my head there while I'm lining things up. There are like outlines there on the stencil to help you line everything up perfectly. It's super easy to do. You can choose to use as many layers as you want. You can have a more simple butterfly or a more layered butterfly. And here I am just adding that ink. Now I am working on the Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station, which is just a tool that has magnets there that hold the stencil still. Makes it really easy to do, but you don't have to have that to do this. Now I'll line up my next layer. As you can see, it's really easy to line that up with that outline for the previous layer that was added. I'm just using sticky notes to protect my paper so that I don't ink over the edge on there. And I'll grab another ink color and just continue layering up the color. And you can play around with so many different color combinations for these. So I'll go ahead and give you a look at all of the different sets that we have. We also have cutout dies for the butterflies once they are complete. So this first one, the one you just saw me working with, is 25-022 Floral Wings. So you get two stencils with multiple layers on it, and we also have the cutout die available. And here are lots and lots of butterflies made with just this one layering stencil set. And as you can see, it is so fun to play around with all of the different color combinations and the layering. And then you can use that cutout die to cut that out and position on your card in multiple different ways. Again, here's that same butterfly, just a different color combination. For the areas that are sort of that white color, what I did was apply a white acrylic paint using an ink blending tool with a foam pad, just sort of sponging and dabbing that onto or through the stencil. So that's another way you can add sort of that light color to your designs. This next layering stencil set has three stencils in it. It's 25-023 Flutter. We also have the Flutter cutout die available. And again, I have lots of examples here with different color combinations for you, and also different ways to add these to your card. I love the size of these. They are large enough to really make a statement and not be too fiddly when you are layering them up. But these are on standard size cards, these last couple cards that you've seen, so they do fit nicely onto a standard size card if that is what you prefer. They also really work great on some square cards, which you can see a peek of here, and I'll have more about that coming up later in the video. So we have one more set of layering stencils. This is 25-024 Arial. We also have the Arial cutout. This has two stencils in the set with all multiple layers on each stencil. And again, here is a look at the cards that you can create with these beautiful butterfly. Lots of different color combinations. I can't wait to play even more with these and come up with different combinations and different layering with them. It gives a whole different look just by changing up the colors that you use, or by omitting or using more of those layering options that are included in the stencil. And again, this one you can see that light color was applied with that acrylic paint. Next up, let's take a look at our new sentiments, and you'll see these throughout the video, and you've already had a peek at some of them as well. The first sentiment set is really beautiful. This is 31-0141, Bloom with Grace. If you want to hit pause to read any of those in more detail, you can. Lots of really great encouragement sentiments on there. Really unique. I love what they say, and I love the fonts that are included in that set. So here is a card with one of those. We also have 31-044 Super Day. This has a lot of really great birthday sentiments, but also a couple about just a lovely day or a super day that you could use for multiple occasions as well. So here is a look at a card with one of those. Along with sentiments, we also have a new edger die. This is 51-812 Note Edger, as well as the Note Builder stamp set that can go with that. And it's super versatile. You got just a note to say hello, to say I care, to send hugs, thanks, I miss you, love you, thinking of you, you have what it takes, and more. So you can use this for so many occasions. And you can combine that with that note edger and those secondary stamped sentiments. I just love the look of that note font, the nice large size, and you can also use it without the edger portion of the die as well, like I'm showing on this card. We have one other new edger die. This is Welcome Edger and Welcome Builder. Again, if you want to hit pause, you can, but super versatile. So we've got Welcome to the Neighborhood, Welcome Sweet Baby, Welcome Spring, Welcome Summer, Welcome Autumn, Welcome Winter, Welcome to the team, to the family, sending love and blessings to the new baby. So you can use this throughout the entire year. So I love that we're releasing it here in the springtime, but you can keep using this all year round. As with all of our edgers, you get two parts. You get the word welcome and also that edge or border that cuts that top border to the word, which you can place at any height on your card. You can also use that Welcome Builder stamp set without the die set as well, like I'm showing here on this card. Next up, we have three new embossing folders that I am crazy about. You've gotten a few peeks of them on some of the cards I've already shown. I have used these so much. The first is probably my favorite embossing folder I've ever had. This is 65-020 dots and dashes. And I have lots and lots of cards with this. If you keep your eyes peeled throughout the video, you will see many more. But it is so unique. You can use it with cute cards, elegant. You can use it on large portions of your cards in color, like I'm doing here as kind of the featured element. It's beautiful white on white because there's so much detail to it. So here's an example with that white on white, and it's still just so pretty. It doesn't take away from your design because it's just delicate as well. You can use it with flowers, butterflies, cute images, just the sky is the limit. I love that embossing folder so much. This next one is also very versatile. This is 65-016 rounded. And again, you can use it with lots of different card designs. And here, like I've used it on the entire background, but I also really like with this one using it in small strips. So just in little parts to kind of ground the card, or here up at the top for a splash of color. It has a nice whimsical look to it. I think it's really fun with whimsical or cute images or even more elegant images like this butterfly. And again, you can see I've used just sections of it, so you can easily trim between the rows of those dots. And here is 65-005 noted. So if you love our script stamp, now it is available as an embossing folder. And this is so lovely. It is very subtle embossing, which I really love for that script. It looks beautiful like I've done here where I've inked over it using an ink blending tool and a foam pad, and that subtly raised script just picks up that ink, and it is so pretty. A really nice finishing touch. And again, all of these can be used all throughout the year, multiple seasons, Christmas, spring, whatever you want to use them for. So they're very versatile. I also love this one as an entire background. Again, really nice and subtle, doesn't take away from your overall design. Now we have some more creative dies besides those edgers that you saw, and I am also really excited about these. The first is 51-816 all-in-one hexagon. And what I love about this die is it's a one die. You crank it through one time and your entire card is basically designed. So here's what it looks like. And once you crank it through, you get these three pieces, which is ready to make your entire card. Beautiful stitching design on there, unique shapes. You got that hexagon, and you can use them all together, layer them up just like this, and your entire card is finished. It's almost like getting a sketch in a die, and you can put anything inside of that hexagon. It can be cute, it can be elegant, it can be butterflies, flowers, Christmas, anything can go in there. You can play around with inking certain portions of that once it comes out after you cut it. Inking here, you can see I inked inside that background or that interior hexagon. And again, you can turn it so you can get another look just by turning it on its side and adding that stitching border on the right or the left. You can also trim the pieces apart. So it is a square size, but here I've used it on a standard size card. You can use just the hexagon piece on its own, position it in different parts or different places on your card, going off the edge. You could use the two hexagons that die cut, like I've done here on this card, and layer them up. Again, now this is on a standard size card. You can play around with popping up and creating sort of a window and then using that interior hexagon to create a background. So I love this. You can use it all year round, and it's just one time cranking it through your die cutting machine. We have another all-in-one die with the same concept. This is 51-815 all-in-one oval. So same idea, crank it through your die cutting machine one time, you get all these pieces, the card design is basically finished for you, and you can go to your stash, go to something that's new, and fill up that oval with whatever you would like. You can ink in the background. There's room down at the bottom to stamp your sentiment. You can add die cuts in there, stamps. You could do some embossing on the background, but you get that lovely scalloped edge, the stitching or the piercing lines, the oval in the center. Here I've cut it from colored cardstock and done a little inking on that for an ombre look and filled up that oval with some die cuts and some stamping. So if you want to make something beautiful but you don't want to have to think about it, these dies are wonderful, and you can let your creativity really go crazy with what you want to put inside of that oval. It's really great for getting some new use out of stamps from your stash, just giving them a whole new look. And I just love how easy it is to do. But you saw several cards here with just using it in a very straightforward way, but now using this same die, here are some other variations that you can use to get even more out of it. So here I've left out that interior oval to create sort of a larger frame in there, so you can add to that. You can use that oval all on its own and pop it up on your card and add stamps or dies or both to that oval, but use that separately from the rest. You can move it around then if you're just using the oval anywhere that you would like on your card, like I've done here. You can also cut a panel and layer it over the oval part, so you're just getting that scalloped edge with those piercing. So there's just tons of ways to use this. Again, you can use it all year round for any type of card. Now another really versatile creative die that we have is 51-814 Frame It. You get 3 frames inside of here or within this set, and I made tons of cards with this. And again, what I really love about this particular die set to me is that it can make items in your stash new again. So all of these flowers that are inside of these frames, I went through my stash and pulled out from my stash. I did a lot of die cutting and just had this like plethora of die cut flowers from my stash. And then I could use these frames and just fill the frames. I did sort of a large frame and a small frame for each colorway. just to show there's lots of different ways that you can use this. You can have the frame sort of in the background and your flowers layered on top of it, as I've done here. Or you can have that smaller frame and have the flowers kind of coming out of the frame, like I've done on this card. So you can play around with the different sizes of frames, the placement on the card. Here again, I've done that larger frame, went into my stash and pulled out my floral die cuts. You could also do your stamps, and again, this can be used all year round. You could use this at Christmas time. You can use it for any type of card, so it's not like overly elegant or overly cute, so you can use it for lots of different items. I think it would be really great also for a Christmas card. If you like to do a photo card, you could have your photo within that frame. Any size dies can work in there. You can also back it with some of our embossing folders like I've done. You can sort of see that subtle texture peeking out behind these floral dies. Now, if you're wondering about any of the products used on any of these cards, I'll put a link to our blog post down below that will show each and every one of these cards, and under each card we'll link to every single Penny Black product used on it. So if you're wondering what is being used on each card, make sure you visit that blog post. Now here's that frame again. You can use it as having like an image kind of peeking out, sort of a peekaboo look, using it with a cuter image, or like here, putting your sentiment inside and your image sort of standing or sitting on top of the frame, or even use it as just a subtle layering piece in the background with a nice large butterfly or die cut or flower on top of it. So now that we've seen the creative dies and the stencils and the embossing folders, let's take a look at a garden of floral stamps. So this first one is 40-925 New Day, a really beautiful watering can with tulips and daffodils, just total springtime. I love this so much. Really, really fun to paint or color. You can do it with watercolors or Copic markers or whatever that you love to color with colored pencils. This is 40-926 Meander. Super unique stamp. I love this sort of circular element, and it's a perfect place to add a sentiment. And you'll notice with a lot of these floral cards, I've done just one layer card. So very simply stamped, painted, and then I used our stencil set to add some inking to the background. It's that easy. This is 40-930 Vivid. Such a beautiful stamp. You can position this in many different ways on your card. And again, here I've just gone very straightforward, stamping, painting, using our stencil set for some inking, very light inking on the background, which also gives a perfect home for the sentiment. This one is really fun. I love this whimsical truckload of flowers, 40-931 Truckload. I've combined it here with that note edger using just the word note and the note builder stamp set. But this could be springtime, get well soon, anytime you want to send someone like a bouquet, but in a really fun way. This is a great clear set with 4 really strong images on it. This is 31-049 Scent of Spring. I made several cards with this set because each one of the images is just so nice. And that's one thing I love about Penny Black. The images are so high quality, they're so artistic and beautifully done that they're a great investment, and your cards just turn out beautiful with them because the quality of the image is right there. So whether you like to do intricate coloring and shading, or you just simply want to stamp in black and put a light wash of watercolor or colored pencil or marker on there, your card will look really beautiful because the image that you're starting out is so high quality. So as you can see with this Scent of Spring clear set, I made lots of cards with it. Lots of different ways to layer those up and use those images. We have another clear set, 31-050 Captivate. On this card, I've combined it with that Welcome Edger. And if you stay tuned at the end of the video, there will be another card featuring the other flowers that were a part of this clear set. And this next clear set is super unique, just beautiful, 31-048 Nature's Jewels. And I made a set of cards with this, combining it with that all-in-one hexagon die set. Just simply stamping those and coloring them in with markers and adding a little inking. Also a little bit of our stick and shine on there for a little bit of foiling, and there's more on that at the end of the video. But you can see just a really nice set, really versatile flowers. Now we have two new brush stroke stamps. So these are like a silhouette style stamp that gives you the look of a hand painted hand watercolor. And these are really great, especially if you're new to brush stroke stamps. I'm hoping to have a video coming out showing how I stamp these. It's quite simple to do, but absolutely beautiful. I'm in love with these. You can play around with your placement, whether you're having it cascade down across the card from the side, up and down. So lots of different ways to place them on your card and get a whole new look. Next up is 40-933 Sweetly Scented. And again, on this first card, I've stamped it multiple times on the card to kind of create a row of flowers. But on the second card that's coming up here in just a second, I've just stamped it one time. So changing the colors, changing the positioning can give that a whole different look. Now we haven't forgotten our feathered friends. We love to include some beautiful, happy birds. And so this cling stamp is 40-921 Confidant. And oh, these birds are so sweet and so, so happy. Again, very simple card, just stamped and painted. Did a little bit of stenciling with our stencil set there, and that is it. That completes the card, but that image is just so beautiful. And now we have a home for our feathered friends. This is 40-922 Birdhouse Beauty. Lots of different color combinations that you can use with this stamp, and I've just made it into a almost one layer birthday card. Now if you're interested in any of these new stamps, I'll put a link for you down in the YouTube description box below to our online store where you can find all of these. Now we do have several super cute stamps that are new as well. So the first one we'll take a look at, which you've seen a peek at these as we've been looking at all of the cards, is 31-040 Daisy Darlings. Here's that cutie just peeking out there from that Frame It creative die. Can use that for so many different occasions. And then from that same set, here is that other one. I just love that happy daisy and that bear there holding it. Again, putting that with that all-in-one hexagon die makes designing the cards really, really simple. So if you love these cute critters, that die is a really great one, as well as the all-in-one oval. This is Lovely Day, and you can see it here with that all-in-one oval creative die. Just the perfect home to add those critters on the card. Next up we have 31-052 Purring. These little guys are so, so cute. They're so fun to add in lots of different ways. I've used them with the oval from the all-in-one oval die here, but you could also add them to letters, words, on those edger dies, kind of perched on those words. So many different ways to use them. These are also so cute, 31-053 Precious. And I've made a couple of cards with these. Great for springtime or encouragement, birthdays, get well soon, thinking of you. So just really, really versatile. We also have 31-054 Childhood. I especially love the image of the girl writing. I think it would go well for any occasion, like she's sending the letter or sending the card that you're sending. Also fun for even graduation. I think really unique. Let your dreams be your wings, and sort of that idea of her growing up and graduating I think is especially sweet. This one is 31-043 Fun Day. Super unique stamp and really fun. Tells a story just through the images. Great way to send a smile. And we also have 31-039 Buddies. I think this is such a tender image and such a great image for a friendship card. So lots of different reasons or occasions to send that, and they are so fun to color as well. Now, I also wanted to mention before we go that we are featuring some of our Stick and Shine product line that was previously released with these new stamps. So it's really versatile, these products that you can use for many different seasons. So this is 15-006 Refinement, and I'll just give you a quick look here if you haven't seen it before how our Stick and Shine works. You receive this piece, you peel off the backing. It's a lot like a rub-on. And then I'm using our applicator tool to rub that onto smooth cardstock. And I'll put a link to a video all about the Stick and Shine with more details and step-by-step down in the YouTube description box below. But it's a really easy way to add foil to your projects without any heat or expensive tools. So I'm just rubbing that, transferring that sticky design onto my smooth cardstock. You could use the tool, or you can even just use your hands or like an old gift card or credit card. I'm going to peel up that sheet. And I'm working on a piece of scratch paper, so if there's any overage, it doesn't go onto my work surface, it just goes onto the scratch paper. Then I'm going to take our foil, shiny side up, and put it on top of that sticky design. And I'm just going to rub it with my hands. You can already see that starting to transfer then onto that sticky design. You can also use the tool to assist you just to transfer that foil, and it will just stick. Peel it up, and look at this. You have this beautiful foiled design, which you can use for any season. I love, my favorite way to use these is to ink over the top. So I'm using some Distress ink and an ink blending tool with a foam pad, and I'm just inking over the top of that foiled design. I feel like that really helps to incorporate it just into the overall design of the card. And I'll put a couple of colors on here just to get a really nice sort of minty greenish turquoise color. Seeing peacock feathers and forest moss. And then with that foil, it is just so, so pretty. So here is a look at how you can use that on a springtime or an everyday type of card. Beautiful flowers from our new floral stamp set. A look at that shine. It's so hard to capture it with pictures, so I thought I'd just give you a look here at the finished card on camera or on video as that catches the light. It's just so beautiful and elegant, and that refinement stick and shine design is really great with our floral designs as well. Here is another card or another example of how you can use that. Just a little bit goes a long ways. So if you want to get more out of that stick and shine, just use it as a little border along the side. It just gives it a really elegant touch. And that's one of our new flowers there, stamped and painted, and also a new sentiment. But a look at that shine. Another one of our stick and shine designs that's really great with all of these new floral and scent of spring products is the Border Beauty. So you can use this anytime as well. So what I've done is applied it to a 5x7 card and done my stamping, sort of extending beyond that border, and also within it I used some post-it notes to mask off that interior section and just add a little bit of Toffee Crunch Memento ink using an ink blending tool and a foam pad. And these are much prettier also on video because that metallic is not so stark. In real life, it's got that shine to it, and so it just fits in really beautifully with those flowers and adds a really nice touch to a simple one layer card, and that has those new brushstroke flower stamps on it as well. And then one more of our stick and shine designs that is really great with all of these beautiful floral and springtime designs is the posted shine. So you can trim these apart, and I love to add them as just a little accent on the card. I especially love this when mailing cards because it has that postage look to it. So you can see it here with those flowers, just a little bit added there adds so much, and I did that on several of those floral cards as well. I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. It's kind of a long one, but we had so much exciting things to share with you. If you did, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that thumbs up. And I'd love to know, what is catching your eye? What do you especially love from this new release? We read every comment and we love getting your feedback. Thank you so much for watching, and happy stamping!